How's it going? What's up, everybody? It's Erin.
And Nicole, this is Dude That's Fucked Up. Oh, what a treat.
Welcome to our podcast.
Oh my goodness. What a time to be alive.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I hope everybody's well on this fine
whatever day it is.
Whatever day it is. Great Wednesday to you all. Yeah. Welcome. Any business for the day?
No, I don't think so.
Cool.
Unless we could segue into my thing for the week, which isn't fucked up, but it, I guess, could be business related.
Sure.
We have a P.O. box if nobody knew that we had one. You could send us mail if you want. I mean, you don't have to, but we like it and we think it's fun. So you could consider this us soliciting mail from you.
We love it.
We love it, and we'll talk about it like we're going to do right now. For my fucked up, which isn't a fucked up of the week, maybe my fucked up thing is, wow, every Thursday when I put on makeup for the one time a week that I wear makeup right now, I cannot get enough of myself. I'm like, I go into the bathroom looking so tired, and I emerge a butterfly out of a chrysalis, fresh-faced, gorgeous, glowing, having a moment. Stunning. The skin, the eyes, everything. I'm awake. I am 5 years younger. I am not in a grieving period, according to this face. You know what I mean? It's just like everything.
I love that. The ritual of putting on makeup is one of my all-time favorites.
It's so nice when you have like the time for it and are in the mood for it. Today I just kind of rushed it, but I still hit all the marks. You know what I mean? Like I was still like, bam, bam, bam. Here's this face. So yeah, it is. Wow, what a difference. And Pete always goes, "You look nice." Like, oh, what? But on these days when I have, and I go, I'm wearing makeup. Yeah, that's because my face doesn't look scary and tired right now. It looks fresh and like myself. But yeah. So, but I was gonna say. Related to the P.O. box. What is the number of it?
Oh, it's P.O. Box 18923, Long Beach, California, 90807.
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's our P.O. box. You could just write to at DTFU, or not at, what is it? The internet. You could write to DTFU podcast, and that's the address. And Erin stopped by there this week and was like, oh, hey, we got some mail. And we got, oh my gosh, just shout outs to everyone. Someone named Stephanie sent me the most lovely card, just like sending me some love and sending Pete some love about my dad, which was so kind and so lovely. And we just like gushed about it. And then Cassandra, a.k.a. Grumps, who, because that's Cassandra's name on Twitch. And she hangs out when I was streaming, which I haven't really been streaming, but Grumps, sent me this little build a Yeti, which was so cute. And then someone, I can't remember their name, maybe you remember, sent us those stickers, like brew.
Oh yeah.
Lady Brewer stickers.
Shit. I can't remember their name, but yes, we got.
We'll shout them out later. Yeah,
we got those stickers, and they're so cool. Because she listened to the episode where we did the Lady Brewers. Like how women were the original beer brewers.
Yeah.
Throughout history until men told them they couldn't do it anymore.
Right.
And so she sent us these stickers that said "Strong women drink strong beer," and it's really cute. Love it.
And then I spilled my strong coffee on it right when I walked into my door. And I didn't ruin it, luckily. But I was upset that I almost did. And also, oh my gosh, huge shout out to Tyler, who came up to me at a restaurant on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. You guys, this is crazy.
Oh, my God. It was her birthday, and she was with her friends, and I guess recognized me. I don't know what happened, but I had been drinking also. But
no, you were recognized in the wild
I was recognized in the wild. Yeah.
This is crazy.
Oh my God. And just was so lovely. And then I I hope I didn't get weird, but I did kind of get weird and was like, can I buy you a drink? But then I like was like, I'm going to buy all her friends a drink. And then it was just so fun. And then I had too much fun, if you know what I mean.
I do.
So yeah, just shout out to Tyler for also making my probably month. I mean, honestly, I told you, and then I told my mom. My mom was like, get the fuck out.
I mean, honestly, it's so cool. Like,
it was cool. It was so cool. Yeah.
Recognized in the wild is like,
oh my God.
You made it, you know?
Oh my God, yeah.
I wish I could have been there for that.
I know.
Shit. That's
I know.
so cool.
She said to say hi to you too. She's like, say hi to Erin. I was like, oh, I will. She didn't know I'd already texted you and been like, oh my God, guess what?
So
it was just too fun. Yeah.
Oh.
So that's just some fun stuff for this week. But
I love
do you have anything fucked up or fun for this week?
I do. As we were leaving to go to DJ's grandma's, his bubby's 91st birthday dinner this evening, which I literally just got back from. We go into our garage and our two bikes are missing. Somebody broke into our garage like at 5:30 this morning and stole them. So it's just a reminder that we live in a city.
Yeah, welcome to Long Beach. You're not from here until you've had a bike stolen.
So when I lived in DC, I caught somebody coming into my backyard in the middle of the day, and I yelled at them, and they dropped the bike they were trying to steal in our alleyway. So, I'm no stranger to this, and it's just, very violating, and it sucks, and we feel like stupid for not being like better about, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like keeping our garage better locked or something. I don't know.
I mean, you're going to see it for sale at a store.
Oh,
like
for
a bike
sure.
Store around here. Like it's, I don't know.
I
mean,
my bike was brand new. I literally just bought it like earlier.
Yeah.
Like
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
oh no. That's
super
sucks.
bummer.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
But you know what?
Sucks.
Listen, if somebody feels that desperate that they need to break into somebody's house, like, I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. It's a bummer. And I don't know, like that kind of shit happens. And I'm super bummed about it, but it's more like, I don't give a shit about stuff. I don't care about our bikes. Like it sucks that they're gone, but like, first of all, I can't ride a bike anymore. And, cause I'm extremely pregnant. But also like, it wasn't that, it's not like they're heirlooms or anything. It's just stuff.
Yeah.
It's just more about the like your fucking space is violated.
Yeah.
That's all.
Especially because it wasn't outside. Like it is creepy and like
we're
unsettling.
like we're trying to figure out like, okay, what, because you have to go to a little bit of trouble to kind of get in our garage. So so super bummer, but that's my fucked up. And people just be out here committing crimes.
Yeah.
And don't give a shit. So if you're out here committing crimes, fuck you. Don't do that shit. But anyway,
oh my God.
Well,
this week,
I think this is one of this is super fun to me. Super fucked up topic.
Yeah.
And let's talk about it.
Oh my God. Yes. Can't wait. Yeah. We don't have a segue. Let's just say what it is.
Speaking of crime, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Speaking of fucking Saturday night.
Ugh. No. I don't know. Who's to say? All right. Well, today we are talking about hybristophilia.
Oh, fancy.
Yes. Or the Bonnie and Clyde syndrome. This is the phenomenon of a person being sexually attracted to or aroused by those who commit crimes.
Oh my God. Ew. I think I'm going to say right off the bat, everybody has a touch of this.
I think so.
Because it's why people are attracted to like the bad boys. Yeah, or the bad girl. It's like, listen,
danger.
Danger. But just like, just enough that it's not too much is I think where most people sit. And then some people, their radar's a little off.
They go a little too far with it.
Yeah. And I think that's where it's a That's where we get these people we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. So the spectrum of interest in people who like commit crimes can range from, I mean, obviously on the very low end of the spectrum is like people who are like, ooh, the bad boy.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. Yeah. But there are two like known types, I guess, of hybristophilia. There's passive hybristophilia and aggressive hybristophilia. So examples of the passive variant are people who like range from people who become sexy pen pals with inmates to being serial killer groupies who show up at trials to catch glimpses of heinous killers for whom they want to bone. So
okay, which both seem aggressive to me already. I know that's the passive hybristophilia, but you're really going out of your way already. So what is an aggressive one?
An aggressive hybristophiliac, I guess, if you will, are people who want to help those who commit crimes with those crimes, like helping choose victims, murdering them, or even hiding the bodies, that kind of thing, So
they want to be like more involved, more a sidekick.
Yeah, they want to be in their world, in that, like all the way in. Yeah. Or they might even commit crimes on behalf of the serial killer or the person or whatever, to offer their services because they want to show they're committed, or to like get the attention of their criminal object of affection. So,
earn their affections. Yeah. Really get in with them, show them like
a big pick me energy with these people here. Yeah. So I'm going to shit on them a lot throughout, even though I have some empathy, sympathy for people who are afflicted with this strange attraction, I guess.
It's like in the classic film Step Up, starring Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan, later Tatum, and he's a criminal, right? Doesn't he he gets in some sort of trouble,
I guess.
But she's like, let me help you learn to dance. It's a little different, but I feel like, I don't know.
That is part of it. We'll talk about some of the psychology behind this.
Good,
later.
I knew it. Okay.
Yeah. But good. Good
analogy.
Good analogy. Great analogy.
Thank you. Yeah, I knew it. I thought that felt right. Okay.
Well, just a slight disclaimer though before we get into the nitty-gritty of the topic. While hybristophilia is like based in clinical psychological study, and the various forms of it that it can take, like the passive versus aggressive, but who it mostly affects, men versus women, and the theories, causes, and the motives behind it, it's all based on like anecdotal evidence.
No studies have been done.
Studies have been done, but it's like, it's not, there's no, there's no like hardcore data, like basically like the backgrounds of each of these people because it's like pretty rare. It's not rare. It's rare, but it's not rare. There's people that have been studied and interviewed about their attraction, but we don't know the age ranges or the kind of like what categories a lot of these people fall into, like what race they identify as, what sexuality they identify as. Like we don't know any of the demographic information. And there's no hardcore data, but there is like a lot of anecdotal evidence of this being a real thing that people are into. So
because people have studied people who are into this sort of thing.
Yes, psychologists have clinically interviewed and studied, but there's and there's white papers on it. There's all kinds of information about this, like that is real. There's no empirical evidence, data, hardcore, demographic information. So I just want to throw that out there because a lot of what has been reported and a lot of what we're going to talk about is pretty gendered, like, just men versus women.
Yeah.
And it's all very general and general terms. So I'm just assuming a lot of it's like cis white women who are mostly the women that they're talking about in these like anecdotal kind of studies. So,
okay.
And then, so men versus women, it afflicts women more than men generally also. So anecdotally, based on what evidence psychologists have written and reported about it, like I said, it seems women participate more, and especially in passive hybristophilia. And then men who do participate in hybristophilia, they tend to be more into the aggressive type of this phenomenon. So
yeah, because they don't want the women having all the power. They're like, let me get in on these crimes.
Yeah, let me show you. Well, actually, this is how you dismember a body, okay?
Yeah. Well, look, Eileen Wuornos, I know you've been killing some people, but I think it could be better if like maybe we did it my way.
Or let me just like take this off your plate.
Yeah.
I don't know. And so again, there's a lot of theories about why mostly women are into this, but the overriding theme to me is that the bar is on the fucking floor. And women are willing to fuck the worst of the worst.
Yeah, fucking women are told at a certain age that they're useless unless they have a man. So women are like, cool, where can I get one? And then they're like,
this one's just sitting in prison.
Yeah, this
guy's
there. Not horrible looking, and I know where he is all the time. Yeah. I know he's not going to cheat on me. Well,
yeah, we don't know.
We don't know. And yeah, I know where he's accounted for, and I don't have to pay for his. I don't have to worry about like coming home and he's like, oh, I didn't go to work today. I just drank beer all day or something, and then it's like, well, she doesn't have.
He's already in jail, so it's like, oh, yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
don't have to cook for him, don't have to clean up after him. So yeah,
fucking, he's not gonna kill any more women. You know what I mean? Like he's already in jail.
Keep his ass in there.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, like this is like a concept just makes me sad. Ladies, we do not need to do this to ourselves. There's so much more to life than wanting to fuck a gross serial killer. Okay. Have you seen movies?
Yeah.
Like, any movie that is about like being a stan of somebody playing a serial killer is totally fine. Like because they haven't actually killed anybody IRL. But wanting to fuck the actual killer is not okay because they have murdered someone. So that's the distinction. Except the only person this might not apply to is Armie Hammer because he's an actor that may or may not have murdered and eaten people. Allegedly. I don't know. That's all. But you know what I'm saying? Like Zac Efron.
So which side of the fence are we on him? We say no.
I say
he's played a serial killer and he maybe killed and ate people, so let's just not touch.
And he's definitely abusive. Like it's proven that he's been abusive to women.
Oh, he's
creepy
gross
as fuck. So
yeah.
There's so many hotter actors out there anyway. And this,
I know.
This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like become a BTS stan. Become a like get into K-pop. Get into any actor that is like plays a bad boy. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
But not the actual serial killers. Don't do that.
Yeah. No.
So, yeah. So there's a lot of famous cases of this happening. So I think this like all through history, this is like maybe, I don't know, maybe this is more of a modern phenomenon that we're like starting to notice. But I do think that this has probably happened for a very long time throughout history where women, mainly women have like seen people who, I mean, Bonnie and Clyde, of course, like that's where the other name for this phenomenon.
100% that I think this has always existed in that capacity. I think like some of the famous cases we're looking at today are like more modern times just because of the high profile nature and how they meet and stuff like that. But for sure, like when you say it like that, like there had to have been like just evil men throughout history, like in I don't know, like in the Count of Monte Cristo times or whatever. Yeah, Kings or like Kingsman or whatever. And it's like, oh, they're fucking gross and assholes. And then someone's like, I'm into this. Let me hang out with you and we'll fuck some shit up. Yeah. And then they get horny off of it and do it. Yeah.
It's a lot of power. So, but yeah, I think in more modern times, we see this in an extreme way because of the way of the nature of the crimes people are committing. We're not talking about, people stealing bikes out of people's garages. We're talking about actual serial killers who have heinously murdered, tortured, raped, killed, whatever, done all these horrible things, have been put on trial and thrown in jail because of it.
And are absolutely guilty. And are found guilty. Yeah. It's not just a question. Like, maybe they didn't do it. They were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's like, no, this was.
They've confessed. Like, this is what it is. And that is the part of the allure is like, okay, this person is very bad. So, and because of the fact that our society and our, the media focuses so much attention on it. I think the more modern day examples that we're going to talk about right now are where we see this phenomenon in full blown, kind of stark relief. So, the first person who we're going to talk about is Ted Bundy.
Oh my God.
This motherfucking piece of shit, Jesus Christ. We all know that Ted Bundy had a ton of trial and prison groupies because he was an okay-looking white man, I guess. It's well documented that women would show up to his trial, and it's all very, known that was a thing with him.
It's so weird that people are able to maybe it's not true anymore, but it's weird that they were able to just show up and sit in. And
I think that's why a lot of trials now with like criminal court proceedings are closed. And you can definitely watch them on the news. But I still, regardless, I think people, even if it was a closed case or a closed trial or whatever, I think women like this would still show up outside the courtroom with their titties out. You know what I mean? So.
Oh my God. Yeah, throwing their bras at him and flashing him and being
basically,
I'm not wearing underwear.
Yeah, seriously, just to catch a glimpse. But Ted Bundy, this is very well documented that this was happening during his trial. And I just, like I said, he was I guess, normal looking white man, and people thought he was hot. I don't know. Getting Zac Efron to play him in that movie was a massive stretch because this man, I look at pictures of him, I'm he's a fully milk toasty looking dude.
Yeah.
But that was the scariest thing about Ted Bundy was that he was so quote unquote normal looking. And
just
benign.
An average. Average guy. Yeah.
It was really his MO. That was the way he murdered so many women because he seemed like a just average dude who he also pretended he was hurt all the time, with a broken arm or whatever.
Yeah.
To make women think that he wasn't capable of hurting them. I don't know. But again, this man was not, he was so average that he could just kind of blend into whatever situation. And that's why it took, I think, so long for him to get caught because he was just a regular old white dude.
Yeah, it's kind of nondescript. It's if you're talking about him to a court sketch person or whatever, it's brown hair, regular height, normal face. What
do you want from me?
Well, he looked like you. He looked like that guy over there. He looked like that.
This man was a 1970s Utah 7. Maybe
Utah 7.
Maybe for the time period. I mean, this is maybe Florida 6 or 7, but definitely.
Florida has hotter people than Utah?
Well, not now, but I think in the 70s maybe. And then just an evergreen California 5.
Yeah.
Just mediocre as fuck. Like,
yeah, maybe even a 4.
Yeah, maybe even a 4.
But a fucking Albany 15.
Yes.
Call back. Oh my God. My God.
So after he was finally caught and put on trial, though, hundreds of women, like I said, well documented, hundreds of women from all over the country and the fucking world, not just our good old US of A, the fucking world, sent this man who brutally raped and murdered more than 30 women. These are just the ones he confessed to, at least, probably way more than that. These women sent him tons and tons of letters and nude photos. Fucking wild.
Okay.
Nude photos.
Okay, and a nude photo in that day and time was not like cup your titty and take a photo or however people do it.
Bitch, you had to go get that shit developed at the fucking Rite Aid.
At your local Rite Aid where everyone knew you and like saw your titties and your vag and everything, your boudoir photos. And it was like a whole to-do. You had to get good lighting. You had to get someone to take the photos. You couldn't take them yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
you could set up a tripod probably.
That's aggressive. I know it's passive, but it's aggressive, you know?
Passive aggressive.
It's passive aggressive. Hyperphilia. Hybridphilia?
Yeah, hybristophilia.
What's hyperphilia?
I don't know.
Well, it's not this.
Well, and like I said, some of these people would show up to the damn courthouse to show support for him. These women would style their hair in the same way many of his victims had. Like, this to me is like, ma'am.
Oh, that's bad.
It's really bad.
Like kill me next? Ew.
It's like, it's like pick me to the like death degree. Like, what are you trying to say here? Also, like, the victims' families could see you. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God. Imagine being this fucking desperate for dick. Like, come on. And dick that you will never get. I don't know.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's ways, but no, it is. This is the thing. Cause yeah, you could go to Utah or Florida or wherever you're talking about and find any one of these exact same looking assholes and sleep with them.
And they're not a serial killer.
But then I'm like, okay, is it like, are women just that beaten down and like feel it and that low self-esteem that they like shit all over themselves by like trying to court a serial killer? Like, what have we done to women? What have we done?
Nothing good.
No, it's bad.
It's really bad. I mean, I blame, obviously, like, internalized misogyny and the patriarchy has like done this to women over. That's what I'm saying. I'm not letting anybody off the hook, but my God, like, come on.
Yeah. It's no. This is
some fucking standards, ladies. But somebody did go all in and get that dick. He had so many admirers, but he did end up marrying one of them, Carol Ann Boone. This woman, I think she knew him or was friends with him when in Washington State. And she like followed his shit ass around. And when he got arrested and was on trial, she was like there for him, writing him letters, supporting his ass. Like, I don't even know.
Oh, great job, honey. Just
you
like
did such a good job, like not representing yourself in any way that could keep you out of jail. You know, you stupid fucking piece of shit.
God. No. Yeah. Oh God. I hate it. Yeah.
She went all in and she had a baby with him.
Dude.
Fuck.
Which also, this is just like a fun tidbit about this. Fuck your flash mob proposal, because this man proposed during his trial on air. It is recorded. You could watch the video of it. And this was a trial where he was convicted of killing a 12-year-old girl. And she was like here for it. And
Carol Ann Boone was
like with him throughout all this. And in the middle of this trial, he looks at her and is like, do you want to marry me? And she says, yes, I want to marry you. And he's like, are you sure? And she's like, yes, I want to marry you. I've told you that before. Do you want to marry me? And he's like, yes, I want to marry you. And because this was in the great state of Florida, there was a law at the time that said a properly phrased proposal in an open courtroom constituted as a legal ceremony because it was in the presence of court officers. It married them. He just had to ask, and she had to respond yes in this courtroom, and they were married. So it was like a trick he did.
He was representing himself like he was his own lawyer, like the fucking narcissistic piece of shit he was.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And he just totally commandeered the courtroom and like proposed and married Carolyn Boone.
It was a surprise proposal. It was a surprise wedding. And that meant, which is so fucked up to think about, that there are people here on this planet right now that were guests at Ted Bundy's wedding.
Oh.
Like, without agreeing, like consenting to it.
No.
Isn't that wild?
Can't I object? Like,
I object.
I mean, you're in a courtroom. Objection. That's like what people should do. Oh my God.
And like, there was no cha-cha slide. There was no fucking shrimp cocktail. Mm-mm. It just was those sentences and it was over.
Yeah. And then that motherfucker got sentenced to death. Like,
yeah. Multiple times.
Yeah. He was sentenced to the electric chair.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she had a baby with this man. They fucked somehow while he was in prison. And I can't think of anything more horrible.
God.
Like, more fucking godforsaken. Fuck that guy. Fuck that piece of shit. Carolyn Boone, what are you doing? Well, the next gem on our list is that had just women really going for it. Jeffrey Dahmer. Honey, this man was really out here murdering and eating dudes. Like, men and boys. And again, women, he got caught, thrown in jail, stood trial, and women found out about this man and were like, yes, sending him letters, sending him gifts, all the money. He's just in jail, and they're like, look at this man. Of course, here's all of my time and attention. And, you know, I have some really bad news for these women. Not only was Jeffrey Dahmer a literal murderer and cannibal, like, horrifying. Yeah. He was also gay, so
he wasn't into women.
He was not. He was never gonna pick you, honey.
Oh my God. Also, he wasn't particularly attractive, right?
I mean, he was another normal looking white dude. Like,
I think I'm thinking of the clown.
John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah. He's not cute. No. He ate people too, right? I don't care. I don't care. John
Wayne Gacy just kept them under the floorboards of his house.
Okay.
But he killed men and boys, yes.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. No. Yeah. Oh, Jeffrey Dahmer. No.
Yeah, and he is to a woman who is like into this man, looking at Jeffrey Dahmer and being like, yes, I want to fuck this man. Like, but he's literally the most inaccessible man of all time. He's in jail. He's a murderer and a cannibal. And also he's not, doesn't like fucking vaginas. So I don't like these women, I think that's part of the appeal though. And I think that is part of it.
1,000%. Okay. I was going to save this for the end, but 100%, I don't think this is the worst thing in the world in terms of locking down a man who's in lockdown. You get to be the independent woman you are. You get to travel. You get to have jobs. You don't have to say, I'll be home by 10. And when you're not home by 10, he's like upset with you. You just get to live your life. And when your fucking family at your reunions is like, so Clarice, have you met a man yet? And they're being like, whatever. Or so Melinda, have you met a man yet? Or are you still single? You know, and it's just like, yeah, fuck you. I do have a husband. You may have heard of him. He's very famous. Jesus Christ. That's the bad part of it. But you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you get to be like, fuck you, everyone. Like, I found a man who Loves me is a interesting phrase to
you
use,
you only found this man because he got caught for murdering and eating people.
Yeah.
And he's in the news. Like, there's no, like,
right. It's
this
not
is
a
not
meet
a meet
cute.
cute.
It's an eat cute. That wasn't good. No. It's, you haven't even met in a lot of these. It's like, you're fucking pen pals.
I know. Well, that's the thing. It's like the fact that he's inaccessible, it allows for people to develop this fantasy and get a rush by communicating with like the worst of the worst. Like, I don't know, if you kind of think about that, like, ooh, like sending this out into the universe to like this letter or whatever, reaching out to somebody like this who is like, it's like touching evil almost. I don't know. People get a rush from it.
I feel like you just said like several lyrics, but in order to Sweet Caroline, like touching, reaching out. But it wasn't. But no. I was like, is it the song? A couple times, but it wasn't. Oh my gosh. No. Yeah, it's I mean, you know, it's a disorder, I guess, for a reason. This is not everyone's cup of tea.
Oh, no. There are deep, we'll talk more about like the kind of motivations and like the psychological, like, you know, shit behind this a little bit later. But I just, you know, I had to say, like,
I get it.
This, like, what would compel somebody to look at Jeffrey Dahmer and be like, yes, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then,
oh my God, I feel like we get worse on these last two.
I know. Then we
didn't know that was possible.
I mean, these are like, there's so many. I mean, there's the lists go on and on. Anytime there is a really heinous person who is caught and thrown in jail, there is always some sort of. But these are just kind of like the top few that, you know, we wanted to highlight. So the next on the list is Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. During this motherfucker's trial, he reached rock star status because women were like obsessed with him. And it's just a friendly reminder that this man terrorized Southern California by breaking into people's houses at night and torturing, raping, murdering people, including children, a lot of children, indiscriminately. He was opportunist, spree killer. So
I mean, but this is what's so fucking wild is, especially, he was like an anomaly for serial killers because he didn't have a type. It was children, it was senior citizens, like it ran the gamut, which is why it was hard catching him.
Yeah, because he was berserking out here.
Right.
He was just
there was no pattern. Yeah. Side note, I just want to throw this in here. I know that a lot of our listeners listen to My Favorite Murder as well, but if you haven't listened to that podcast or you haven't heard this episode, there is an episode where Karen talks about the Night Stalker, and his capture and subsequent arrest is one of the best revenge like
sequences.
Yeah.
It's like cinematic. Yeah.
It's cinematic, and the way she tells it is so good. I'm getting chills because it's so good, and just like this man gets taken down, and it is very fun. So definitely listen to that. You know what's interesting about the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, for me, is that because this was in the 80s, so this was like a later serial killer compared to Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy, and the last one we're going to talk about. So TV was more of a factor, and the
24-hour news cycle,
24 hours news, you know, current affair, like there was just like all these programs that would cover this and not sensationalize it. It was sensational to begin with, but you know, we're like talking about it, and I think it was also peak conditions for that narrative of like, lock your doors, it's no longer safe in your neighborhood or whatever, which we know now was like somewhat blown out of proportion. But then there was also this happening, so maybe not.
It just was like confirming all of the like worst fears of, you know, like the satanic panic was like also like popping off around this time. So everybody was like linking Richard Ramirez to that. And like, it was just it was peak all of this shit. So this was a lot happening at once. So that really, the frenzy that went into that just boosted him as a like this figure that people just were like, oh my God, he is. And he became so fucking like famous just because of the coverage of this and the way women just like threw themselves at him. It was just so gross.
Oh my God.
Gross.
They flocked. The thing about this one is I feel like, okay, I just think it's weird, and there's some weird shit about it. So he got tons of letters from women all over the globe. One in particular stood out because she was just like relentless with her letters, like sent him, 75 letters in the span of like a couple years or whatever.
Jesus.
And her name was Doreen Leoy. And what was special about her? Not much. She was born in 1955 in Burbank. She was the editor of Tiger Beat magazine in the 70s and 80s. And she was credited by Mr. John Stamos for launching his career.
What?
Have mercy.
Dude, what the fuck, bitch? Doreen.
So she was like not famous, but like
had a career.
She was a well-to-do lady.
Like what?
She was she was an editor of a magazine, of fucking Tiger Beat, which at the time was like pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was like, I don't get it.
I know. I don't get it. I mean, she's been interviewed. I think maybe we could do a deep dive on like in a bonus episode on this lady, but that's like some behind the paywall content because she's still around and like who knows what her thing is. You know what I mean? I mean, people don't really know what she's up to, but
we could talk shit more freely.
Yeah. So maybe we talk about her. But yeah, she just like there's been interviews and it's just she just felt compelled like that they were connected somehow and like that's the man I'm gonna marry, which is so wild. And they got married in October of 1996 and excuse me, there's no report of a divorce. He died in 2013 in prison from like an illness, but they hadn't spoken for years allegedly, so but they never got divorced either. So
I mean,
she's a widow.
Do you even have to if they're in I don't know. If you're like, I don't even know. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't get it. Wow.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh.
And this last fucking piece of shit that we're going to talk about where this was just, I think, had both things, both the passive and the aggressive hybristophilia happening. It's Charles Manson.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. This guy,
I in the notes I said, this sentient scab of a human.
Mm-hmm.
He just always had babes chasing after him. And that's why he was able to orchestrate very high profile murder sprees back on nights back to back. And I think most of us know, if you don't, famously, Sharon Tate and her unborn child were victims of Charles Manson, along with the LaBianca family and like a bunch of other people at Sharon Tate's home. But the most famous thing about him is that he was so allegedly charismatic. He didn't even like physically participate in these murders. It was all done at the hands of his disciples, which were called the Manson family. And women were just like obsessed with this man.
I know. So like you have the aggressive form of, I mean, and he was like a cult leader basically, who is like, he's persuading all these people, making it very like easy and obvious for them to commit crimes for him, basically. Like by telling them, we have to start a race war and we have to like make chaos and, make it, I don't know. So he had a whole plan. They bought into it. They did all these crimes for him. And so I feel like that's but he wasn't out here doing anything like particularly heinous. The ideas behind why he wasn't even like, you know what I mean? He wasn't like a serial killer. He was just facilitating
a mediocre white man. Yeah.
Yes. Again.
He fucking dabbled in music. He was like a writer. He like maybe wanted to be in movies. Like he just like, and then he had some philosophical ideas about things, about life and the environment and stuff, and just like.
And people just like glommed onto this guy who
he also had drugs, though, I think.
Also that. Yeah.
There was also drugs involved, so.
Yeah, he was a you know, I'm sure a lot of our listeners know all about Charles Manson. So
yeah.
But one of my favorite podcasts about the Manson family, it has to be the series that was done by You Must Remember This. Like that shit. It could, because it goes very deep into like the, you know, 1960s and 70s, like the like hippie culture and like what was happening at that time that made this like all possible and made Charles Manson such a, you know, perfect storm of a you know, shit bag to facilitate all this shit. So
yeah. I mean, long story short, women were obsessed with him. Then I feel like probably there's a segment of people who still love him now. Like, I remember, I feel like I've mentioned this before, but I feel like this is one of the worst indie comedy experiences I ever had, where I was in line at a show at Upright Citizens Brigade. Pete and I were together waiting to get in, and some like fucking assholes behind us were like, thought they were being edgy and like talking about Charles Manson's music and like how they listened to it and stuff. And I was just like, I fucking cannot take this.
Like listen to it like for fun, like on a daily basis?
Yeah. Okay. They were talking about how they listened to it and how it's not actually that bad, and how they were like critiquing it and just like.
I've listened to it. It's like fine. It's like.
Yeah, but it was just like they were like. They were like using it as a way.
About it.
Yeah. To be like, oh, by the way, Charles Manson's music wasn't that bad, and. You know,
it's like saying Hitler's art wasn't that bad.
Right.
Like,
yeah. It's
nobody,
right. It's
nobody
like being
cares.
a Hitler art connoisseur. It's like it's like I was into Charles Manson's music before he was like famous though.
Dude,
so
shut the fuck up.
You know what I mean? Like that sort of
like,
vibe.
Okay, yes, we all know that he made music. Like,
yeah.
Who cares? Like it sucks. Like who cares?
Yeah, I know.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh. Well, he had so many suitors. He never officially married in prison, but he did come close. This woman, Afton Burton, who was originally from Illinois. Why did I just say it like that?
Because you're reading it. Because
I'm reading it. Yeah. She moved to California after she became obsessed with Manson's environmental writings at the age of 17. Which I'm like, I haven't read anything he's written, but it's like, what could he have possibly said that's like so compelling that like
something that's incoherent? And somebody posted to Tumblr and we're like, where a 17-year-old could like read it. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, and it was, you know, it's just funny because like all it is a manifesto. Like it's just some fucking self-obsessed, narcissistic drivel, you know. Anyway, She claims she didn't know much about him, that she just like fell in love with his environmental like philosophy, which I guess it's possible because she wasn't born until 1989 and he was convicted in 1969 of these heinous crimes. So like she wasn't even born for 20 more years when he went to prison. So yeah, it's possible that she didn't know that he was a criminal, but it's probable that she did. And
I mean, he's in jail, so yeah. Like for life. And he also carved a fucking swastika in his forehead.
I just was saying of that. It's like, okay, but if you ever looked him up, you would find a bunch of information, and that man is batshit crazy.
I'm sorry. Whenever one of my friends is going on a Tinder date, I do a full background check for them.
Yeah.
I can find information on a whatever fucking chode is like coming into one of my friends, you know, zones.
Yeah.
I will find everything out about you, sir. Like,
oh my God.
And that's not for me. That's for my friend. But if it were me, I would be paying a private detective probably. I don't know.
Oh
I'm Googling you all the live long day, okay? Is what I'm trying to say.
Speaking of chodes, Pete the other day goes, "Do you know what a chode is?" And I go, "Yeah, it's like a short, fat dick." And he goes, "I always thought it was a taint." And I was like,
"See, this is the discussion that people try to have about chodes, and it's like, it's not. A taint is a taint, and a chode is a chode. A chode is a short, fat dick. It always has been, and that's all it ever will be. I don't want to hear none of this taint bullshit, because that taint right." Okay, glad we cleared that up.
Oh my God. We know what next week's TikTok will be.
Yep.
Oh my God. No, he looked it up and apparently it's regional. It's like how people say soda and pop.
No.
Yeah.
Midwesterners call chodes taints, don't they?
I guess. No, they call taints chodes. They call taints chodes. Yeah. I don't like it. If chode is a short fat dick.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've decided.
Speaking of short fat dicks, again, Charles Manson.
Oh my God. Yeah, so she was super into him. She sent him mail like for years, like fan letters and shit. Moved to California, tried to date him. She did. Yeah, she actually got to visit him on weekends and like spent time with him. And she would later say that some of her motivation was to get access to sealed court documents that only like family was able to see. Like that's why she wanted to marry him, which could be true, could not be true. And so, yeah, she courted him really hard. She would bring him like toiletries and like help him with fan mail and just like show him a lot of attention. And in turn, he like nicknamed her Star and would talk about her, you know, once every year when like fucking Access Hollywood or whoever interviewed him, like it was some big deal, or his parole came up and he was like in the news. Yeah, so gross. And he did agree to marry her at the age of 80 in 2015. She was 26 years old. But it's alleged that he caught wind that of a rumor that she just wanted access to managing his estate so that when he died, she could put his body on display and charge people to see it.
Okay.
Which I think is fucking genius. And I'm sorry she didn't get away with it because might as well make money off that asshole. But then it's like, is this wrong? Probably.
It's what he deserves.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is.
Well, that brings us to the question portion of the evening.
What he would have deserved is if people paid money to like spit and shit on his body. Okay.
There we go.
I just wanted to clarify. Okay. Yeah, the question portion of the evening.
Okay, question portion of the evening. First question. Why is there such a difference between women and men who participate in this, and what are some of the theories psychologists have had about why people participate in this? I think a lot of it, like I keep reading, like it's just it could be a lot of different things, first of all, but like a main thing is just like this kind of idea that there's a power structure involved here. The powerful person is somebody who is committing crimes and, you know, has this aura about them that the person is initially attracted to. Then it becomes about, I think, like and this varies from person to person, obviously, could be like anything from a person wanting to like seeing the little boy in this heinous serial killer, or thinking like, okay, I can change them. Yeah. And then it could also be about like, well, I have gotten through to them and they see me and they're this powerful person, so I am special, and so it gives them a kind of like a proxy kind of high, I guess. Some people have said they do it for notoriety, like pretty unabashedly, like, yeah, I just want to like be in the spotlight too. In
the limelight. Yeah.
Okay.
Infamous. Infamy. Yeah.
So those are some of the like main driving theories that psychologists have about the kind of, you know, I guess motivations for people who get in, who are into serial killers in a sexual way, who like actually like take the time to like write letters and send nude photos and, you know, do the full pick me routine. So so it's very, again, I'm very upset by this. Like, I want women to have more agency and have more, like, the world is so big, honey. You don't need to do this. So.
And I think that if you're doing it to rebel or prove a point to your family, you go, girl.
Okay. Sure.
No, I don't think that.
And then another question that came to mind for me was, are true crime enthusiasts a subset of this phenomenon, a subset of hybristophilia? God. And I think that, yes, some people who like true crime, not just like, but are very into true crime, take this shit too far. I would say see some Tumblr accounts like Ted Bundy and Jeffrey is a Babe from like 2017. Like shit, people were like glorifying. They go way too far and fully glorify serial killers sometimes. Like they take this interest of true crime and go way too far with it. However, that being said, I think most people who are into true crime, like myself, have a mostly healthy interest in it. For me personally, I've always been fascinated by true crime because knowing how horrific humans can be keeps me vigilant, makes me more appreciative of good people in the world, good things, good people in the world. And I like just the feeling of not being caught off guard and totally devastated by how fucked up this world is all the fucking time. Knowing what the worst of the worst is something that is part of a control thing for me. And I also am always just trying to manage my expectations in life. You know, that's where I'm coming from when I say I have a fascination with true crime, because that is, I don't know, that's how I'm not like assaulted by it with, you know, the news of the day of horrible things all the time that happen in real life, because I seek it out and I take it in bits in whatever way that I choose to, and am fascinated by it from a psychological perspective too, just like on a human level. So I want to know what the fuck is happening here. Like,
I also think, I mean, humans just like storytelling, and like a lot of true crime is just really good stories that generally have an ending. I mean, everyone we've talked about today they're some of the most prolific, infamous serial killer bad people that like have existed in our lifetime.
And they got caught and thrown in jail. Yeah.
Exactly. And like the things they did were horrific, but I'm not usually a fan of like unsolved mysteries, or like I don't really like that type of stuff because it's not a complete story, and it's very like, it's upsetting. But there's people that listen to it because they're interested in maybe helping or whatever, you know. It's like how true crime fans have like solved crimes, which is really cool. But yeah, it's not all. I keep forgetting the word. Why do I keep wanting to say hyperphilia? Hybristophilia. Yeah, hybristophilia. Yeah, it's not. That's probably a very small subset of true crime fans, but I'm sure there's people that listen to. I mean, there's so much true crime content. Like, there must be people who listen to it and like are there's sexually aroused by it. I don't know.
I guess.
I don't know. Yeah.
A lot of compartmentalizing, I think, happens with this hybristophilia, I think, in a way that is very, very unhealthy.
It's problematic.
It's very problematic.
Yeah. I think, it's good to kind of compartmentalize things sometimes, but you can't overlook the fact that these are bad people who don't deserve love, honestly. You know, we come out here and we say everyone deserves love, and it's like some people don't. You know their names? We just said them. It's Charles Manson, it's Ted Bundy, it's Richard Ramirez, and it's Jeffrey Dahmer, and 100% I will die on that hill. So.
Yeah, and we know these people's names, and we don't even know like all the victims' names of these people that they've murdered. Like it's just of course we know Sharon Tate because
she was famous.
Yeah. And but I don't know, man. It's just all fuck.
It's fucking wild, yeah.
It's fucked up.
I know, dude, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. My final thoughts and feelings, I already kind of gave because I said, this is a joke, obviously, but I said, honestly, these might be the best marriages for an independent type woman. You got to do what you want. I don't really think that. I think people who are seeking out serial killers to marry them, yeah, I think they need some professional help. So.
Yeah, there's a limit to your love, as James Blake said. And
he also said, "You're beautiful." Isn't that him?
Totally different. No.
Oh. Who's that? James,
that
someone.
other guy. I don't know.
Okay.
No. Wrong James. But
wrong
yeah,
James,
I don't know.
James.
It's just don't be. I mean, I can't tell people who to be sexually attracted to. Obviously, I'm not saying that. But serial killers.
But you could say don't go after it. You could say.
You could, have these thoughts.
You can have your thoughts and your fantasies. You do not need to write serial killers in prison a fucking letter and be like, "Hey, I live in Reno, and I don't know. I just thought you were really cute and like, or whatever. It's I live in Bakersfield. I don't know why everyone lives in the desert.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know. It's just like you don't need to write a letter.
Let's not take it that far. Just catch yourself. Just ask yourself some basic questions. Why? And why?
Also,
like why do I find this person attractive? Why do I feel compelled to write them a letter? And why am I doing this? All of this,
Yeah. Listen,
those are the questions.
Our fucking motto of 2020, just because you can does not mean you should.
Absolutely.
And I would say if you find that you have a serial killer fetish, fucking lock yourself in your room and masturbate till you pass out and then go live a normal life. You don't need to write a letter. You don't need to go visit serial killers in jail. There's just a lot of things you don't need to do or you should not do just because you can.
Yeah. In most cases you can't because, prison's hard to
and luckily
go and visit.
all these people are dead that we talked about today. So sorry.
Yeah.
Not sorry.
God.
Yikes. Wow. What a rough time.
This whole thing.
It was fun till it wasn't. You know what I mean?
It was fun till it wasn't. I just, like I said, I just want better for all the ladies.
Yeah.
Okay, I get. You know what? Like, speaking of writing letters to people and being weird, send us some mail. We have our PO box that we mentioned at the top. It's sorry, I had it pulled up.
It's on our website.
It's on our website, DTFUpodcast.com.
Yep.
Our PO box is 18923 Long Beach, California 90807.
Oh my gosh.
Follow us on all of the social media platforms that you like. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
Yep.
Facebook.
No, the group's really fun. But we don't post anything to like our official page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Anything
my gosh.
Else? Did we do it all?
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah, let's go to bed.
This was emotionally draining. It's hard relating to people that are doing the weirdest shit.
Yeah. Just I worry, for humanity when this is what people got going on.
I think it's a handful of people. These are outliers.
For sure.
They're the fringe. So, but still not a good look.
Not a good look.
And
not
it's gross.
a good look. Yeah, we don't like it.
Yeah,
sorry.
Sadly, a lot of these women were disowned by their families, and I can't blame them.
And they're like going down in history as like buttholes, so to put it lightly.
And not the cute kind.
Or functional kind.
They're like an extra butthole.
Asshole on your elbow. Anyway, all right. I love y'all. Thanks for listening. Thanks for bearing with us. And gosh, stay excellent to yourselves.
And each other.
Please.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye-bye.